What's happening, folks? Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's full-time reaction to Aberdeen 3, Celtic 3, Celtic 1, 6-5 and penalties, I think it was, Martin. Where do you even begin with that 120 minutes we just watched?
I know we need to go away and reflect and do a bit of watching it back, etc. But my initial reaction is relief, absolute relief. You know, you go one down early in the game, you think plenty of time to get back into the game, and we did. First half probably eeksy peeksy. You know, it was a bit back and forward. Certainly wasn't impressive from a Celtic perspective. And then the second half it was much the same. You know, it was up and down the park, and both teams had loads and loads of chances beyond the goals that were scored. And then the penalties, I don't know where you start with that. You know, tried to predict the penalty takers, but a wee boy says to me, you know, who's your five? And I'm thinking, I'm not sure I can pick a five that I'd be confident in. And I think that's part of the reason why Joe Hart was one of the five. But I did think that Alistair Johnson would be the fifth one. He was my fifth choice, and then of course he took the sixth one and scored. So had he taken the fifth one, who knows? We might have seen it away in regulation 5 penalties. But what a game! It was just so unpredictable. You know, you were up, you're down, emotions all over the place. But just relief for me, Paul.
Aye, absolutely huge relief to make the final. Thinking back to that first half, we obviously go behind early on. Miovski caught a bit cold, I think, and behind him between the centre halves. He finishes it. Hart gets something on it, but not enough to keep it out. But I thought all through that first half, and you could argue for vast spells of the whole game, I thought Aberdeen, to give them credit, they were right up for it. I think in midfield with Barron and Polvara, they were getting on the second balls. They were winning a lot of 50-50s. I thought in midfield we didn't win enough of those second balls. It looked like our positioning when we turned the ball over we weren't close enough to Aberdeen, and they got some joy throughout most of the game.
I thought the midfield absolutely, but also the bit I was really impressed with Aberdeen today was when we got into their box and we were trying to just pass the ball around. They closed us down really, really well. There's a lot of crosses into their box, and again, if they didn't win the first header, they won the second one. They had a real desire about them today, a real hunger, and you know, you have to give them some credit, because you know, a lot of people would have said going into that game, Aberdeen, their fans didn't turn up because they didn't have that belief they were going to give us a game. They haven't been in a good run of form. They finished in the bottom 6, so a lot of people would have thought that would have just been a formality for Celtic today. And I don't think we turned up with the wrong mentality, but sometimes just subconsciously you're confident and you're maybe not giving 100%, not quite 100%, just because there's an expectation there. But Aberdeen came out and knew they had to fight for everything, and they did. And you know, as I say, you have to give them some credit for how determined they were, and to come back and get the equaliser in regulation time and then do the same again in extra time again, that shows great character from that team, doesn't it? So.
Aye, it does. They've had a poor season, but I think cup competitions have done alright. A couple of good results in Europe as well. For us, Kyogo's work rate gets us back in the game. He wins the ball off the centre half. I thought he was actually going to finish it, but he gets stuck under his feet, he gets blocked, falls to Kuhn, who equalises. And then you think when we go ahead at 2-1, I never really felt like we were in proper control of the game. Usually Celtic, most weeks you feel like we've got control of the game, and you're sure that once we get ahead we can see it out. Never had that feel at any point today, and I think both of the goals, we obviously lose a goal in the last minute of normal time, and then we lose a goal in the last minute of stoppage time as well. Very, very similar goals. The first one, Palmer's come on, we're actually got an opportunity to counter. He plays a blind pass in the middle of the park, it's turned over. Hoylett's unmarked because he just took a corner, and then it's into the back post, headed at the back post, in behind Scales, and then it's almost an identical goal, their second equaliser. So there was that vulnerability about us. I don't think any of even Carter Vickers didn't have his best day. I think at the back we were just all over the place at times.
Carter Vickers had moments of genius where he was outstanding, but other times he looked really and we're asking a lot of him because the whole defence didn't play well today, and he is only one man. You know, you look at the individual goals, so the one with Kyogo, I thought Kyogo had 3 or 4 really, really good chances today, and okay, he was lively, but he didn't have that clinical finish in him today. But as you say, we got the slice of luck. We couldn't get us ahead in the game. James Forrest comes on, and what a
brilliant impact.
Second touch in the game, I think it was. So I was just really, really pleased for him, and he could have had another goal after that if he just a little bit more urgent.
Yeah, you can tell as soon as Forrest come on. I mean, another really poor outing for Yang. I don't think Palmer covered himself in glory as well. And Brendan Rodgers said earlier in the season that James Forrest is the winger with the most quality of the club, and he's got that composure. But I thought as soon as he comes on, he just drives at the Aberdeen defence. It's a really composed finish into the far corner.
He's got to finish. He's got good vision, good pass, good weighted passing in all my plays as well. Ball retention, he's good at that as well. So he offers a lot. And I think the substitutions were overdue because there was a few players who'd underperformed. You could have taken a few players off, as it so happened today. There was
McGregor was off it as well.
McGregor as well. He's not quite ready yet. So subs were fine. But I do think when they equalised in regulation time, the goal was coming. There was a good 5-10 minute spell prior to that. And again, discussing with the guys who were sitting at the game, we're all saying, there's a good chance they're going to score here. And as you see, when the ball got crossed over, it was yards and yards and yards of space and then a good cross into the box. But we should have done better defensively. That was the real disappointment for me.
Yeah, I think the long balls we should have dealt a lot better with today. I think they have a chance, maybe Sockler just before their equaliser in stoppage time, where he's like 2 or 3 yards out. I don't know how he doesn't score. So we were vulnerable at the back. Matt O'Reilly scores. You did feel, even though we weren't in control, you thought if we can just put a sequence of play together here with a bit of quality, there's another goal in it for us, and there was. Matt O'Reilly finished it high into Roosie's top left hand corner, and you think, right, surely now we can go and see it out, but it wasn't to be. And then the penalty shootout, you think about our penalty record all season, dreadful. You're just never filled with confidence when Celtic approach a penalty shootout. That's the first one we've had for quite a while, but credit to the team. The outfield players all scored. I don't know what it says about their confidence that Joe Hart was going to take the decisive one, and when you miss a penalty, the decisive penalty that could have won it for us, you think, is this our day?
Aye, I mean, Matt O'Reilly first and foremost, I talk him up all the time, Paul, when we talk about Matt O'Reilly. I mean, we got him for £2 million, what's he worth now? And I think that's maybe his 14th goal of the season, only a couple behind Kyogo. I love it when he plays in the 10 position. I know sometimes he goes back and he plays 8, but I love it when he's 10 because he's just so composed on the ball. And again, he has a good way to pass, good decision making, and a fantastic finish. That's been proven this year. His assists and his goals have been a huge part of our season this year. So I was delighted for him. When he was taking his penalties, it so happens, he was the one I was most confident in scoring as well, out of all of them. But Joe Hart taking the penalty, still scratching my head here thinking, brave of him, he's not the vice captain, he's the third choice captain, so you're thinking, okay, you expect those guys to step up. With Carter Vickers, he wasn't in the 5. I wonder when he would have taken one, maybe next, who knows. But I thought Johnston was the natural choice to take the 6th penalty. I was very surprised he didn't. I wasn't confident in Joe Hart saving a penalty.
No, he's 2 that went underneath him, didn't he?
He's not
really close to it, but couldn't keep it out.
No, his strength, and of course eventually he's a hero, so I was really chuffed for him. It being his final season that the fans were singing his name at the end because he saved the penalty. But a real rollercoaster emotions. I think last time we played Aberdeen in a penalty shootout in a cup game, we got beat in a final, so a long time ago. And you're never, I don't know why, but you're never confident with Celtic in penalties, are you? I don't know why, never ever have been, and all the time I've been watching Celtic, so it's just good to get the victory and really look forward to a final.
Aye, we've got that to look forward to now. I think on the day, it's a bad day at the office almost. I think the performance could have been a lot better in a lot of areas. Even the passing at times throughout the game was slack, but we got there in the end, and as you say, a huge relief to begin at that final at the end of the season.
Absolutely. I mean, these games, particularly semi-finals, can sometimes, lots and lots of expectation and excitement going into the game, but sometimes it can be really tense, dull games, and flatter to deceive, and it was one of those days today. But once the dust settles, we'll no care less. You'll no look back and say we didn't play well in the semi, we'll just say we're in the final. To not be in that showcase Scottish Cup final, who knows if Rangers will get through tomorrow or not, but regardless whether it's Rangers or Hearts, it's a real disappointment if you're not there for the conclusion of the season. So super excited, obviously a lot to play for in the league, and then a day in the sun back here in a month's time. Yeah,
we usually finish man of the match. I think Matt O'Reilly got it, the sponsor man of the match in the stadium. Is that who it is for you?
There wasn't a lot of candidates today. You go through that whole team and you'd probably say most of them get really low marks. So for me, Matt O'Reilly was probably the one player that just about deserved man of the match. So for me, Matt O'Reilly, definitely, yeah.
Brilliant. That's it here from Hampden. We will see you in Malone's for the post-match pint. Thank you.